All right, welcome to another comic review, and this is another book sent to me by my friend Chris. Thank you as always, brother. Um, Today we're going to be talking about Exquisite Corpses. This is an image book from James Tynion, and I didn't know what to expect. This is one of those books Chris does. He sometimes sends me books that are like secrets. So sometimes he'll tell me what he's sending for the most part, but usually he tends to have a secret one thrown in there that he doesn't tell me. And this was that, and I didn't know what to expect from it. All I knew was from the cover, I was like, James Tynion, and it looks bizarre. So what is this comic about? Well, let's talk about it. So the comic is for starters, this is one of the more interesting books I've seen because it's only 3 issues, but the first issue is like 3 issues put together. Like the first issue is like oversized, and then you have the other 2 issues that are kind of that are basically regular. It's kind of weird. James Tynion, a lot of his miniseries, like when I was trying to read The Deviant, which didn't really grab me in the first volume, it ended after 9 issues. But I think that's kind of the beauty. That's kind of the beauty of these kind of books, right? Like image books can just end whenever. So yeah. So this comic takes place in a small town called Hollow Oaks. And what happens is the town sheriff is contacted by a very wealthy woman who puts him into a massive secret game. The game being that every 5 years on Halloween night, a random town in America is selected by the 13 the 13 families that represent the first 13 colonies of America. And basically, they each pick one fighter who has a specific weapon or weapon of choice to them, and whoever is the last killer standing, as well as the whole town alive, as long as the whole town's dead, that family rules the country for the next 5 years. So, yeah, it does. I know what you're already going to say. Well, this just sounds like every other killing game story. Yeah, but just because the story's been retold so many times doesn't mean you can add some new stuff to it. And that's what I really like. I really like about this video. This is what I like about this story is that, again, I'm kind of a sucker for battle royale, not so much Hunger Games, but like if you like, I'm going to say right now, if you like battle royale and have like a horror element to it, which I guess you could say battle royale was already kind of a horror movie to begin with. This is a book you'll want to read. Yeah. The characters, it's very broad, and I always give this to Tynion, is that Tynion is one of those writers who knows how to juggle a big cast and tell various stories from it. Like, that's what I always give him in terms of being a writer, is that the dude definitely knows how to write a story. And that's what I really enjoy about all this, is that what was I going to say? He's there's so many other characters. It's not just the sheriff who goes by the code name Lone Gunman. There's also a guy looking for his boyfriend during all the chaos. There's the sheriff's niece, who's an EMT who didn't leave when her uncle told her to get out when the getting's good. And there's also like all the almost like Game of Thrones stuff going on in among the 13 families. One of them, by the way, one of the members of the 13 families he's straight up as Jack Nicholson. Like, I'm talking like Jack Nicholson from he is straight. The character even looks like Jack Nicholson, and even like how he reads. I would not be shocked if Tynion based that character off of Nicholson, because yeah, you'll know him when you see him. But yeah, there's also, again, a lot of like interplay between the 13 families, and every character is really likable. Like, there's no one really here to hate, and also all the killers are really unique. Like, they all have a lot of like unique talents to them. Like I said, each of these killers are essentially they have, according to the rules of the 13 families, they have to use they have to choose a killer who's an expertise in one thing. So like Lone Gunman, that's guns. There's another called Nurse Pete. He's good with poisons. And then there's like Rascal Randy, who's this guy psychopath in like a bunny suit. And I think his is hands, if I'm not mistaken. Or is that Pretty Boy? Yeah, there's a lot of them. The thing is, though, there is one that's kind of thrown. If you're looking for this guy, for this woman right here, called Fox Mask Killer, that's literally the name. Like the most, like I know, not the strongest name ever. I'm aware, but she does not. She's barely shown in these first 3 issues, which I have a feeling that it's kind of like that. It's kind of like when she shows up, it's gonna be big. And that's the other thing is that don't get it. This is basically saying, because there are killers that are wiped out in the first few of the first 3 issues, so I don't think this is going to be too long. But yeah, the whole point is don't get attached to anyone. I'm pretty sure like every character here has got a target on his or her back. Even the non-combatants, because like I said, the other thing that has to happen is that that these killers have to wipe out the people of the town for points. So that's the other thing. So it's like I said, there's not going there. I don't think there's going to be a lot of shall we say, there's going to be a lot of collateral damage. That's what I meant to say, is that there's going to be a lot of collateral damage in this book, and it is violent. I'm not showing you any of the artwork in here because I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. So therein lies, but take it from me, this comic is absolutely violent. And the writing is really solid. Like, you really do care for a lot of these characters and hope they make it, but you just kind of know some of them ain't going to make it, and a lot of them are going to die pretty bad. So, yeah. The only problem with this book, like I said, it's only the first 3 issues, but issue 1 is like a double-sized. And the other thing is, too, the book's over, and now I have to wait till April for trade. So that therein lies the problem. So if you're looking for a good Halloween comic, yeah, like I said, this whole comic is set during Halloween night. So how can I not suggest this for like a horror reading as well? If you want to read something that's like a, if I know like you've seen a lot of these battle royale kind of stories, but trust me, this one, while it does take a old tradition and an old overused plot, I think it's unique enough in its own right to make it interesting. So I do recommend this. But anyway, once again, I'd like to thank my good friend Chris for sending me this comic. And yeah, once again, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.